pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you very much.
All your stuff's over here, Jeff.
You can leave
Do roll call. Ben Huff,
it. Here.
Dan Van Buren. Jeff Chorpenning.
Here.
We're gonna skip ahead to guest speakers. We have one tonight, so we'll let Megan talk so she can get out of
When we get it.
How you guys doing? Good. It's a very
Excuse me, Jeff.
strange day for January, right?
Crazy, huh?
So weird. But I'll take it. I'm not complaining. Okay. Well, thank you guys for having me out tonight. I just wanted to kind of go through the health insurance renewal with you all and just let you know what we found out. We went ahead and filled out the applications like we do, of course, every year, just to look at the other options out there for the township, and that's what this is all about. There's a lot of stuff in here. I'm not going to take too much of your time, but please, if you have any questions, if something doesn't make sense, just don't hesitate to interrupt me. The first page that I have in here, this is just a sheet that explains what all of us in the office do. If for whatever reason I'm not available, if you need help, there's definitely, a bunch of people there that can help you with any questions or problems or any claims issues, anything like that. The next page just shows your different levels of coverages that the township has to offer and the carriers that you guys are with. The third page is this spreadsheet that I put together, the first spreadsheet. Okay, and this is what I'm going to spend just a little bit of time going through. The first column is your current plan with Anthem that the township has. Okay, it's a $2,500 deductible, 100% plan. You've got a $30 office visit copay for your primary care physician. It's $50 if you go to the specialist. Your emergency room copay is $200. The urgent care is $75. And then of course your prescription drug card benefit, depending on which tier your drug falls under, is going to be $10, $25, or $40. Or if you're on a specialty medication, typically they're injectables, those really high-end medications, then your copay is 25% up to $150. Okay? That's what you have until March 1st. The next column is what Anthem is automatically moving you to. Okay, they did away with the plan that you guys have. They're changing the benefits a little bit. Everything that's highlighted, those are the changes. Okay, so you can see the specialist copay is going from $50 to $60. The emergency room copay is going from $200 to $300. And the prescription copays, actually, it's only that last tier that's affected, those really high-end specialty drugs. There's a max of $200 instead of a max of $150. Okay, so if you guys don't make any changes, you don't do anything, this is what you're going to renew to automatically March 1st. Okay. Now, if you look out here in the column, says OPEC funding plan. These are what the benefits are to you or to the township members, anybody that's on the health insurance. Okay. Last year we decided that we were going to go with a funding plan, which was definitely a great decision. I'll go through the report in a little bit to show you that all of the money that we saved in premium absolutely made sense because you guys didn't use anything in the funding plan either. So definitely makes sense. It's there if you need it, but you're not paying the higher premium if you don't need it. Okay? So one option that I would like you guys to look at or at least consider is it's also with Anthem. All of the other carriers were more expensive for the same plan that you have. Doesn't make sense. We want to stay with Anthem for the benefits that you have. But something that might make sense is to look at changing the benefits a little bit within Anthem. If you look at this last column, it's called option D56. Basically, the only difference is you're going from a $2,500 deductible to a $3,000 deductible. Okay? And of course, we could still do the same funding limits, we can still have the same funding, the benefits would be the same as they are today. We would just save some money in premium by increasing that deductible a little bit. Does that make sense? It's not gonna change the benefits for anybody that's on it. Of course, it's there if you need it. If you're not gonna use it, just like you guys, just like last year, you know, that money's still in the account that's the township's account, in case you do need it. If you look down at the bottom, we have your current monthly premium, the premium is going to be if you just go ahead and renew as is, and then this Anthem option. Saves you about 4.5%, something like that. Okay? So it's something to consider. You guys actually had a pretty fair renewal. It was actually below the average, so you know, it's definitely something to consider if you want to go ahead and stay as is too. Okay. The next page, I just like to show this. These are different carriers with plans that are similar to what you guys have now. If you look at the bottom, they're all way more expensive than what you have. We shop the market. Obviously, you don't want to pay more for the same level of benefits that you have today, so. Doesn't make any sense to look at those other carriers, okay? The page after that, this is just a breakdown of the rates and the different options that I've shown. The three that really, you know, I think you guys should look at are the Anthem current rates, the Anthem renewal rates, and then that Anthem option rate that we talked about, okay? If you want to make a plan change, if you want to move to that Anthem option that I just explained, we'll just have to do that by the end of this month, okay? So I don't know if you guys are prepared to make a decision tonight or, you know, or what you want to do. We have some time. Okay? Do you have any questions about that? I just totally breezed through that. I went through that really fast.
It's pretty straightforward.
Okay. The next page, this just shows the funding plan worksheet, okay? So this is just a worksheet that shows what your exposure is for the township for your funding account, okay? That separate account that we set up. Again, you guys haven't used any of it, so it was absolutely the right decision to do that. But right now you have one person that's on the insurance as a two-party, and then two of you are on it as a full family. That's what those exposures are, your total maximum exposure. So worst case scenario, if every single person on your insurance had a terrible year and used that $2,500 deductible, the worst case scenario that would come out of that funding plan is the $15,000. Worst case. Okay? If you remember, we were saving pretty close to that in premium last year, so it made sense to take that little bit of risk. And like I said, since we used zero of it, it did. It was definitely the right move. If you look at an expected exposure of 35%, that's just a very conservative number. Usually the utilization is only between 20 and 25% for most of the groups that we deal with. So 35% is a little high, but that's $5,250. You guys, again, you were below that too. You were below what we projected last year even. And then of course the fees are in here. The next sheet, this just shows if you go from what you are currently funding now to what you would be funding with that Anthem option, your maximum exposure goes from $15,000 to $18,000. Worst case. And then the next page. This is just a copy of your funding report for 2012. Again, your dollars come out of that account. So anything that's in there is the township's money. There's no fees, there's no penalties. for not using it, or for using it for that matter. The next page, your life insurance benefits that we have through OPEC, through the Hartford. It's after that, I think it's after the red sheet. Nothing's changing. The Hartford actually renewed January 1st of this year with a 0% increase, so the rates are gonna be the same for the rest of this year. They actually there was a 3-year rate guarantee before, so that's not changing for you at all. And then we also have the dental. The dental plan's in there too. Same thing, hasn't changed. Okay, so really the only thing that you guys need to make a decision on or really consider is that renewal with them. Whether or not you want to stay as is or if you want to go ahead and make that change. The next sheet, there's actually 2 of these. I'd like to include these in the back of the presentation. If you do have anything that, here, let me go back to the spreadsheet that shows you what the benefits are here. If you have any benefits that are out here in the column here, basically, if you go to the doctor's office and you pay your $30 copay, you pay them your copay, you save the receipt, you fill out this form, this second or the last page of this packet, and you send it to our office along with the receipt, okay? And then basically you would get the money back from the account that we have set up, okay? If you have any major medical or anything that goes towards anything major medical, basically, any claims that you have, any larger claims, same thing. You go, let's say you have your knee replaced, you have that done, the hospital and the doctor's office or whoever performs the surgery is gonna send the claim to Anthem. Anthem's gonna send you an explanation of benefits, and they're gonna say, Megan, you owe this $2,500 deductible. I fill out the form, send the EOB that says that, and then we take the money from the account to pay you for it. Okay, so that's how it works. It's so simple. You fill out this form. The form tells you exactly what you need to do with it. You can fax it, you can email it, you can mail it to us, whatever works best. But that's how we know that, hey, you had a claim and this needs to come out of our funding account. Can you guys think of any questions for me or anything that might not make sense or?
The deadline stays in March.
Yes, March 1st. So we really, if we want to make the plan change, we should do it sometime, the sooner the better, but you have the whole month of February.
The next meeting is gonna be on February 26th. Let's do this. 2 days left in that month. Would that be?
That's okay. Yep, that'll be okay. And in the meantime, if you guys are looking through this and you have any questions, anything comes up, just let me know. All of my contact information is on here too, so
Awesome.
just call or email me. Okay.
We're good.
Thank
Thanks,
you guys
Megan.
so much. Have a good night. Thanks.
I'll make a motion on the table, deciding all lender concerns for next meeting. Decide in the February meeting.
Thank you.
Thanks, Megan.
See you, mate.
Have a good one.
Do roll call. Jeff,
Yes.
Dan, Ben.
Yes.
Excuse me, I can't hear with that furnace thing going on.
Put what it is. Read the minutes. You put copies out there for everybody.
Yeah.
Throw one forward if I get you to read it, Jim. The last paragraph above, public comment for the organizational meeting.
Trustee Hutt made a motion to assign seats. President will sit at the head of the table, north end. Vice President will sit at the southeast corner of the table. Trustee Chorpenning will sit at the southeast corner of the table, and the fiscal officer will sit at the northeast corner of the table. Trustee Van Buren seconded the motion. Roll call vote, Van Buren, yes. Hupp, yes. Chorpenning absent.
Thank you. If I could ask all the members of the board to go ahead and take their assigned seating. I think we only have one that's not sitting in the proper place.
I won't be putting my back to the public, so.
You shouldn't put your back to the window. I mean, people would you do that.
That's her.
So you're not gonna take your assigned seat?
I told you I'm not putting my back to the public.
Is that a yes or a no?
Did you hear me?
Is that a yes or a no?
I'm not taking a seat that's gonna put my back to the public.
Is that a yes or no? You're gonna take your assigned seat?
When you're ready to move on with the meeting, I'm ready to move on.
I'm ready for you to take your assigned seat, is what I'm ready for.
This is like kindergarten.
Jenny, please note in the minutes, that Jeff, will not abide by the motion that we made and was passed on January 4th, 2013, the organizational meeting,
Stupid.
of his proper assigned seat.
Pieces, isn't it? That's in pieces, yeah. Hurt that down.
It's like kindergarten.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you. Any other guest speakers?
Hearing better from hearing now.
Move on to correspondence. Jenny, do you have anything?
I do. I have quite a few things, actually. You want me to go?
Go ahead.
First, I received a letter. I'll go ahead and read it into the record. To Bowling Green Township trustees, I hope someone reads this letter, reads it directly to Mr. Chorpenning's camera, so that if I am not sitting in the audience, I will be able to hear this letter read and know that it is not edited to Mr. Chorpenning's liking. This letter is intended for Mr. Chorpenning. I want to know, Mr. Chorpenning, how you, who used the campaign slogan of proactive, never participated in the snow removal when the snow came, and not only on December 21st, December 26th, December 29th, but also January 1st. That was 4 days of snow that you were nowhere to be found. I did see Mr. Van Buren, Mr. Hedges, and Mr. Hupp in the trucks and tractor throughout these days for many hours trying to keep our roads clean so people like me from this township could get out onto the roads safely. As I have sat and watched your performance over the past year, I know many will agree with me on this. You are not proactive regarding this township. Quite the opposite. You are a detriment, and you are lazy, standing around with your hands in your pocket or with them wrapped around your video camera sure does not get the job done. You just want to be a one-man show when it suits you, and you can boast about what little you have done on the YouTube channel with your roundabout way of praising yourself. Bowling Green Township has 2 trustees that definitely can toot that slogan, who are proactive, and neither one has the last name of Chorpenning. So look into your agenda book and tell us all why you, as one of our elected officials, did not find this township important enough to you on December 21st, December 22nd, December 29th, and January 1st. To help Mr. Van Buren, Mr. Hedges, and Mr. Hupp clean the roads and to keep the residents of this township safe. As you have demonstrated many times, we all know that you are not a team player. Again, you want to be the one-man show. But when it comes to the safety of the people of this township that you are supposed to be working for and representing us as our elected official, you have failed us numerous times. I will be anxious to hear your answer as to why you did not help clean the snow-covered roads and put in your time as the other men did. Or will you once again be disrespectful to us by evading the question? I must add one more thing. Your slogan of the word proven, you have nailed on the head. You have proven to be nothing but a title holder. Bowling Green resident who will never vote for you again. I received that in the mail.
Was that anonymous?
Yeah, it was not signed by anybody. I actually have another one.
Take a copy of that.
They have an address to sign your name.
Please.
Bowling Green Township trustees. This is long. Being a resident of this township, I feel compelled to sit and write this letter about one of the trustees that sit on the board, that being Jeff Chorpenning. After watching some of the videos that Jeff has posted about the meeting regarding this township, I am appalled by his lack of professionalism and the lack of respect that he shows this township, his fellow trustees, the zoning inspector, and even the clerk, not to mention the public. Jeff's recurring use of name-calling and his rude remarks and actions are absolutely childish. His own editorials and his own thoughts and opinions that he has published has made the township look ridiculous. Many of the neighbors and I have spoke, and the merry-go-round that Jeff removed from the park has been a hot topic. How can Jeff go behind the vote made by the other two trustees of not removing the merry-go-round and then remove it and not pay a consequence for his actions? We feel that putting the merry-go-round back in the park should all be at Mr. Chorpenning's expense, since he took it upon himself to ignore the vote and since he is drawing a $623.08 a month check from this township that he is trying to destroy. Jeff should be held accountable to pay for the digging of another hole, the labor of the concrete to adhere the merry-go-round, and a public apology should be made to the residents of this township for his actions. With Jeff's antics being discussed among the neighbors, one of them took the time to look up the word joke in the dictionary, the definition, somebody or something that is laughable, inadequate, or absurd. And that is how many of the residents of the township view you, Mr. Chorpenning. Your pipe dream of fantasy of a political career is just that, a joke. On January 3rd, 2012, after a township meeting, you felt compelled to post the definition of the word common sense, which means ordinary understanding without which one is foolish or insane, meaning good sense. Well, obviously you did not demonstrate that on December 8th, 2012, when you felt empowered to ignore a vote made by the board that you sit on. Good sense, common sense, ordinary understanding. Which one of these do you not understand, or is it that you understand and are foolish and insane? You do not portray in any way sincerity to the township, to the people, or to the board. Having lived in this township for many decades, we have seen lots of people come and go, and we quote your own words now, Jeff, you are small-minded, and we think it is time for you to go. For once in your life, be a man and do the right thing. Step down from your seat, because you sure don't deserve 1 penny from the taxpayers. You do nothing to earn it. Your neighbors on Route 40 who have common sense.
On Route 40.
I received a notice from Licking County Recorder about filing fees. They are staying the same for zoning resolutions and amendments. Public notice of blasting schedule from the suburban landfill. Monday through Saturday during daylight hours from October 26th to March 1st, and then March 2nd to May 1st, May 2nd through September 1st, and basically October to October. I don't know why they broke it up like that, but I received a notice from the Licking County Building Code Department, fee schedule for any building or remodeling, if anybody wants to take a look at that. I'm pretty sure it's probably also on the Licking County Building Code Department website, but I have that if anybody wants to check it out. And that was all I had.
I see a copy of that one too. Any comment to that, Jeff, these letters?
I've got some correspondence.
No,
My
I
turn?
didn't ask you correspondence. I don't know who wrote this, it's not signed, but they said, I will be anxious to hear your answer as to why you did not help clean the snow, yada, 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 so obviously they want an answer. No answer?
When you're
This
ready,
is on recording, right?
when you're ready to move on with the township business, and ready to move
Don't
on.
worry about who's running the meeting, Jeff, 'cause that's me, okay? I'll take care of it.
When you're ready, go
Don't worry
for
about
it.
it. It's obviously not an answer. I apologize to whoever wrote those letters that Jeff wanted. A couple things I had under correspondence. I definitely want to thank the workers and the people that helped participate in all the snow removal. We've had a lot of snow in the past 30 days. The majority of us did participate. Spent a lot of hours plowing snow, a lot of hours fixing trucks, all that kind of stuff. So I definitely want to thank everybody that helped do that. So I appreciate it, Jack and Johnny. Also want to thank Danny. Danny did some repairs on the truck. We had the rear end go out of one of our trucks, and we had an estimate done on it, and the estimate is about $3,000 to have it repaired. Danny took it upon himself to go ahead and fix it, save the township thousands of dollars. The township's able to remove it and then also put it back in with Danny's help of fixing it, so definitely saved a lot of money there. I do appreciate that, Danny, a lot. Maybe we can kind of bank that money for something else that we need to use on, so I do appreciate that. We had a verbal commitment from the towns when we attended the township, the winter conference, and there was a verbal commitment that the township will receive issue 2 grant money, which is going to cover work on Somerset Road and also the Dogwood Lake subdivision. So we're pretty thankful for that. That's going to save the township a lot of money. So we'll be putting out bids here shortly to do that. So just keep everybody updated what's going on there. We did receive that money, which was good. So that hopefully will get done this summer. So. And I have one other thing. I also received a letter in the mail. That's a pretty short one. Not as long. I received it on January 16th. It says, let's all thank the nimwit who put an old-fashioned clothesline in the middle of our park. Don't forget to bring your ladder when you want to hang your clothes. One good thing, the kids won't steal the clothespins because they can't reach it. How dumb was this?
Looks like a kid really.
I'll get back to Jenny so she can follow. I didn't make a copy of that either, actually. Yeah, copy of it too, please, thank you. That was all that I had under correspondence. Dan, anything? Nothing? Alright, Jeff, go ahead.
We all attended the January 5th Licking County Township Association meeting. They handed one representative, which just happened to be the first one that they got, the road mileage. I wrote the date that's due is in April, so if you want to review it or whatever. On that, I would just suggest that you compare it to last year's, and the only change that should be on there is the cul-de-sac that was added on Snedden Road. And if there's no other, if that's adjusted properly, then we should be correct on that. January 14th, under the ORC law, I did conduct the inventory under 505.04. I had several calls come in. Today I had a call from someone about Guthridge Road. It just said his name was Joe, but I couldn't make out what the number was. We've had a lot of calls on Guthridge Road this year. So I think we should discuss what to do to improve the situation there. The Wesses called me today. I see they're here, so that I assume they'll address their concerns themselves. I had several residents contact me in the Lone Oak area on 40 and also right in the subdivision there Pretty upset with Big O, specifically a service around Christmas time wasn't handled properly. Mr. Collins had contacted me from Laurel Hill Road, wanting zoning appeal board records. I haven't received any legal advice. I know that the board had asked Ben to get in, to look into that, so if you have received any, like I said, I'd like to be privy to what that is. And the other thing is, from that meeting, there's one copy for the township. It's the county sheriff's office report. It was the same thing, they just had one there for the whole township, so. And correspondence from the planning planning department. It just talks about their next meetings coming up. Nothing is there posted for Bowling Green. And a letter from the Ohio State Extension for their committee meeting, which was held on the 28th. And I think that's it for correspondence.
Just to let you guys know, I did also receive calls on the trash from up around Somerset Road, Lone Oak area. I spoke with Big O, had the problem corrected due to the holiday and just the bad weather. They had a problem getting in and out of there. They apologized for what happened. I had one resident that said it wasn't picked up several weeks in a row. Made another phone call, and it got picked up the next day. So that was taken care of. The reports, anything under safety? Fire company. Zoning.
Okay, I have a junk car report for the second Tuesday of the month. The junk car meeting, right? And that is gonna be JC 001-13. It's for 10777 Midland Oil Road. Also, the violation at 14124 National Road Southeast, nothing has been done. Talked to the prosecuting attorney, she suggested to bring it to you, so that we can give it to her and the violation fines will start, where they take it to court. But she wanted to make sure that it came to you so you're aware that violation will start when taking the proceedings on the fine.
Is there a copy of her report?
What was the address that?
That was 14124.
I don't think I have a copy of that report that you're looking
You know,
at.
I didn't make enough copies, I'm sorry.
Okay, I'd like to see it. I'm on this board.
Yeah.
You can't sit and
He
see,
doesn't
you
want to
should
make
be
copies for everyone
participating in
else.
nothing.
I agree with you on that. So we need to make a motion, Barb, is that what you're asking us to do?
Yes, to take this forward,
And that's for the 14124 National Road?
yes, which is the violation of the 911.
What was the last one?
Mind you, you did give them extra time to try to correct this problem, and you note on my report that I sent them the variance request, which he asked for, and that would be Dustin, the son of the landowner who actually owns this trailer. Sent that to him, and he's also on the zoning board of appeals, so he also has easy access to that record if he misplaced it or something, that request.
Alright, we'll make a motion, that you go ahead and turn everything over to the prosecutor for, let's see, it'd be case JC 001-13.
On what? Not the JC. This is the violation of the 911 on 14124.
Oh, I'm sorry, I was reading this at the top.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll make a motion that you go ahead and turn everything over for the violation at the address of 14124 National Road Southeast. It's in violation of the, say,
9.11.
9.11. That has to do with that house trailer, correct?
Yes.
That you go ahead and turn everything over to the prosecutor and let her handle.
Is there a second to the motion?
No, second.
Is there a copy of the JCO 01-13 here at the table?
That would be no, because this is in the junk car meeting.
Sorry.
But that there's, did he go to the planning commission or anything on that?
On the trailer,
Yeah,
couldn't tell you, he's never gotten in contact with me, other than when I talked to him here. He said he was gonna request a variance, I mailed him the variance, still has not contacted me, so I have to follow through. We had gave him ample time. He was mailed out August 13th, 2012. This is January,
yeah, because he was supposed to go to the planning commission.
and nothing's been brought to me.
What was the date that you originally sent the notice?
August 13th.
Dan, you seconded.
Yeah.
Roll call. Jeff?
I'd like to review the file before I vote on something like this.
You had the file.
I don't have the file.
You had a copy of it, it was given to you. I don't make copies every time we come in here, the same thing.
Is there a copy on the table I can review? Because that's the only way I'm going to participate in the vote is if I have the information here. I have every right to have that.
Do roll call, Jenny, please.
Jeff, what are you saying? Are you abstaining?
We got them back in August.
Present.
Can you define present for me? I need to know what present means.
That means he sits in the northeast corner.
I need him to tell me what present means. You're just here because you're not in your seat and can't tell you're here. What does present mean?
First of all, I don't answer to you.
I'm part of the
You're
people
not running
too.
this meeting.
What
Well, let me ask.
does
I'll ask.
present mean?
I'll ask.
It's
When you vote
basic-
present, please tell me, explain
It's
that. what that
basic
means.
parliamentary procedure.
Okay, could you please explain that?
On a
to me?
roll call vote, if you vote present, you are not voting yes or no, but you are acknowledging that you are there.
But when the appeals board did it, you said they needed to say yes or no.
That there was a little bit of difference with that dynamic. With the appeals board, if it would have gone as it was, it would have, if your hears would have been considered presents, those would have been 3 that were present, and that would have left you with 2, and 2 is not enough to do anything. I was pointing out to them, if they wanted to pursue an action, if they were indeed voting present, that's fine.
Well, let me ask you this.
But they
Why
could
did
not
you even have
pass
anything
it.
to say at the zoning appeals? Because you weren't even supposed to intervene in that.
It was a procedural
According to
thing.
the Ohio Revised Code and our zoning resolution.
Okay,
So-
then,
Well,
Yes.
you know, you can get all up in the weeds on tangents. I explained your
That's
question.
what you do.
I explained your present, what you.
You got a copy of this
Question.
paperwork August, you should have reviewed it, that's your job as a trustee. So, I shouldn't have to present it every time it's brought up. You had the copy.
I have a right
Your choice
to
to
any
make a vote, you
information
got
that is
present. I
before this
understand
board that a vote is being taken on.
Well, we've already done that.
You shouldn't be facing.
And I shouldn't have to be in a position where I have to deal with somebody.
Ignorance,
There's
you
out-
put that on the internet, thank you very much. And I think you need to retract that statement, because you were proven wrong. Correct? Yes. By the prosecuting attorney.
Obviously, she's running the meeting here.
No.
It's my time, I'm zoning.
Okay. Take your time, take all the time you need.
But I will, thank you very much. I'm sorry, what was the vote? Send it forward or not?
yes.
Yes,
Thank you.
okay.
Are we gonna have a jump car meeting in February?
Yes.
What's the date?
First calendar.
Second Tuesday of February would be February the 12th.
What?
The 12th.
That's a
7?
What's that?
7, right? 7 PM.
Yes. Okay.
7's on the Thursday?
February 12th at 7 PM.
Yeah, 12. It's 7 p.m.
Oh, that's what that's.
Okay, next one, violation 14282 National Road Southeast. They received notification via mail, refused to sign it. That was brought back to prosecuting attorney's office. She said since they refused to sign it, according to the Ohio Revised Code, I can send it via snail mail with a receipt, which I did. That was sent December 31st. Still, no action has been taken. Original letter was mailed out August 13th.
Which one is this one? What's the violation on this address?
That violation is,
I should say alleged violation, 14282.
excuse me, I put one file together. That's a 9.5, and, yeah, and then I sent the snail mail the 31st.
It's 14282 National Road.
Sorry,
14282 National Road.
yes.
Yes.
Prosecuting attorney said the same thing, would like to have an approval from you to bring it forward and start funds.
Do you have a copy of that snail mail letter that was sent?
No, I don't, because it's the same letter that you guys saw. It just kept getting forwarded. Would you like to see the original that you have in your records?
Does it have a demand on it with some kind of arbitrary date that you've assigned? They have to comply to something?
Oh, the letter at the table, I presented it, just like the other one, brought it to you, gave it to you.
You
For
don't
your
have,
record.
you don't have an answer to my question.
I just gave you the answer. You have the copy.
I'm asking you if there was a date that you assigned on that they had to comply by your wishes.
Yes, it was February 1st.
February 1st.
I'll make a motion that you go ahead and send the proper paperwork over to the prosecutor for 14282 National Road Southeast. That's in violation of 9.5 if they do not remedy the property by February 1st, 2013.
Is there a second to the motion?
No, second.
Roll call, Jeff,
No.
Ben,
Yes.
Dan,
Yeah.
Do you have anything else, Barb?
That was it.
That's it. Okay. So we'll have a junk car hearing here on February 12th at 7 p.m.
Yes, and I will bring copies of everything, but I'm only gonna do it once, because you, the township, who is me, the people, is paying for the ink. I'm not gonna keep copying this stuff over and over and over.
I don't need a copy every meeting. When I get one, I got a copy.
Okay,
Thank you.
and I don't give my originals out.
Zoning board.
You know, I did one.
Zoning appeals.
We did have a meeting, however, we had an appeal from the Wesses for a variance on a lot split. The decision was tabled until the committee could find out some additional information.
When's the next meeting gonna be?
It's tentatively for February 26th, but that date may be moved forward. It will be advertised.
That would be the same date as the monthly meeting?
Oh,
The 26th.
Patty, it has to be moved forward. They only have 30 days.
Okay,
They have to move it forward.
okay.
We'll just have,
I was gonna talk to you today about that.
coordinate with Jenny, advertise, so we.
Yeah, it'll be advertised.
That wouldn't be a problem, somebody have to meet in a different building or something, or have
or
a
do it
different time.
earlier. Yeah.
They
They
cannot
have to do it
have
within
it
30
on that date. It has to be moved forward.
They have to within 30 days.
They have to do it within 30 days.
Can you let us know when the date?
I will let you know when that is. I had to step down from that decision,
Okay.
so therefore I am not involved with date setting, I'm sorry.
Gotcha. Thank you for relaying the information. Do you have anything else? Is that it? Thank you. Comprehensive plan?
I do have, report for that too. You did ask us to look into, the water situation for Brownsville, and Dee is looking into that. She's gonna be talking with the commissioners, to find out, because they are definitely laying the line into Gray Shot. So we're hopeful that there's some way that
Have you heard anything?
we haven't heard anything at all. But I did also bring the list of concerns when we sent the survey out.
Okay.
And we compiled all the information as we were going through to devise our plan. Some of the main issues were the population of the area. And a lot of these things, it's nothing that we as a committee or even as a township can really do anything about, but they're just concerns that people have. And one of them is the fact of the age of the population of the township. You know, it's a lot of older people. There's no entertainment here to attract anyone younger to the township. There's no mom and pop businesses, no restaurants, no parking, no bike trails. You know, a lot of it was very negative for the township. There's no jobs.
You got a thing out there in the park to swing on.
There's really no sense of community. The people in Dogwood Lakes and Lono sort of have their own little association group, so they're more of a community. And I even hear grumblings, people don't want to drive down here to vote. You know, it's too far to go, you know, so they don't feel that they're part of the township. So it's not like there's a real sense of community. A lack of cooperation seems to be a concern also. There are no jobs, crime. Let's see.
No crime or there is crime?
There's a concern about crime.
There's not enough crime?
Well, there's a concern about crime in the area. We don't have a local police or fire department or any public services. There's a concern about the negative attitude about the township and about the people. Apathy, people just, a lot of times when you're discussing a topic, people just don't care because if it doesn't affect them directly. Property maintenance is an issue. If you have someone who's taking very good care of their property and they have someone next door to them who isn't, it evaluates everyone's property value.
Sounds like it's not a very good place to live.
Yeah.
Well, that was
I think
sort
I'll
of
move.
what, after we got the things back, that was kind of one of the things. People were concerned about wanting business and jobs in the area, but they don't want a Walmart. They would like to see their own fire department and their own, you know, EMT services.
Make another one, Jenny.
They would like to see public transportation, which I never get public transportation out here
So what you're really saying, they like kind of Columbus here.
without the other people.
You know, I would advise those people heading, like,
But that's just, I'm just bringing the concerns that we got off the surveys, you know, that, and the surveys are at the, Regional Planning Commission in Newark, if anyone would like to go in and read them, and,
They're also on our website, survey
Oh, they're on-
results.
okay.
The results are,
Okay.
survey results.
Well, you guys had a meeting.
Pardon?
You guys had a meeting a couple weeks ago.
yeah, we had just a meeting.
What were some of the topics? you guys-
The main thing that we were discussing was the fire department and EMT. Greg was going to kind of check them, and it was one of the issues we were going to bring to you is the fact that if we could get one of the other fire departments to put a branch in our township, we wouldn't have to come up with, you know, all the equipment money.
Right.
We could get grant money and do something like that rather than having our own individual fire department. We would at least have something in the township, but it would be part of another fire department. It's something that, you know, would be up to the trustees to look into. I don't know about, you know, where would you put it?
Right.
Would be an issue, you know, obtaining maybe some middle point in the township, community property or things like that. I'm sure there's a lot of issues involved with that. The other issue that we looked at was having a community newsletter, because there were a lot of people that wanted to have some way of being in touch with, with what's going on in the township. Just like when there was some event going on at the park, Easter egg hunt or Halloween party or whatever, a lot of the people don't know about it. And so, we've tried to come up with different solutions so we're not costing postage for the township.
Right.
But we thought maybe if there was like a quarterly newsletter or some updates or something that we could maybe put on a website or put on Facebook or something that's easily accessible for everyone. And
How hard would, I mean, I think the majority of people have email, not saying everybody, but the majority. How hard would it be to do, an email?
it really wouldn't be hard. The only thing is, and this was something that we talked about, it's getting that initial word out.
Sure.
So it's like we would have to do some kind of, even if it's a postcard to people, to let them know what we're doing.
Sure.
And then maybe have them send back if they want to be part of the,
Sure.
yeah. Something like that is what we were thinking. And, and the information that we thought would be relevant is, what roads are you going to work on this year? What's the budget for road repair?
Right.
Any issues that people are having, potholes in Guthrie Road or whatever, things like that, that they could put on there too and say, this is what's going on.
Sure. When's your guys' next meeting?
Actually, we didn't schedule a next meeting.
What do you think? 2 minutes?
We thought we would just do like quarterly meetings because
Okay.
we really are not a proactive board at this point since we're finished with the plan. It's sort of up to you to kind of guide us as to what you
Right, and that's kind of
see.
what I was getting at. What do you want us, do you have anything specific that you would like for us to look into?
I think probably the newsletter issue is our biggest thing right now. Until we find out more about the water situation.
Sure. Maybe we can try to get some input, and shoot around some ideas and see if we can't figure out something there. I mean, it's not gonna happen overnight, you know that. so.
Yeah.
Okay, awesome. Thank you. Park committee?
Two $25 runs. Are those my papers?
Yeah. Here's the original of the grant application and I have the financial report also.
Yeah, that's one of the things I have. Read paper. And then to the board.
I'd ask for a copy of that too. Do you happen? Great, thank you.
Anybody else want a copy? Got one more.
I'd like the copy.
Here it is. Has everybody signed in? Might have all the way around.
I attended the park committee meeting and they said they were gonna give us some correspondence. Is that what that is? They had some concerns. One of the concerns was the sink over in the building needs addressed. We got it partially unplugged, but the way it's plumbed to the floor drain and out of the building, something needs done because it's only still partially working. And I would imagine that's probably one of our lists on, orders on there.
We can discuss this here. I'll just read it. Have you seen it? You probably haven't seen it.
No, I was at the meeting, I haven't seen the letter.
Dated January 29, 2013, Bowling Green Township Board of Trustees. Talked to Chris Meyer about the money for the hurricane spinner. He said he has not received money yet. When shall he receive it? Some maintenance work needs to be done on the building. Kitchen sink needs to be unplugged. The entry doors on both ends need to be fixed. They are loose and letting in a lot of cold air. The floor needs painted. Can we get someone to fix these problems? We will need to get mulch chips for the spinner. Would also like to get a $150 check at the February 2013 meeting for candy for Easter eggs and prizes, which is in March, before the March meeting. Thank you, Bowling Green Township Park Committee, signed Barbara Wiseman. Sure, let's just address them right now, let's throw them out there.
We need to do something. Are you familiar with the sink?
Yeah, we've been over there planning on it, trying to get it on clock too, so. Yeah. The maintenance work that needs to be done, other than the kitchen sink and the doors, what else is there? And the floor,
That's it.
that's it?
Jeff fixed the commode and the thermostat.
Do you know, Barb, if there's any floor paint still over there from last time left over?
Maybe 1 or 2 cans.
I'll have to take a look. That'd be a pretty easy
Well-
thing to do there.
I'll-
If you can tell us any period of time, like when it gets warm, when it's not rented, kind of maybe, I'll be happy to come down, I'm sure others would help. But I know we can get volunteers to
They're
do that.
supposed to let us know when there's a park committee. Jeff is not supposed to say a word. Now, why hasn't it been posted? I asked for it in the meeting right here.
When the meetings are?
When we had the meeting, yes, I put up on the meeting, but Barb, he runs it, Barb does what he says.
They've got, you set a meeting for your next meeting, didn't
It's
you?
a bit
Yeah,
When's the next meeting gonna be?
March 19th, 7 p.m. It's every other month.
So it's the third, isn't it the third Tuesday of every month?
3rd Tuesday of every month, or
March
every
9th.
other month.
March 19th?
Yeah.
Confirm every month or every other?
Every other.
Every other. It's always the third Tuesday? Is that what it
Yes.
is?
So it's gonna be March and the next one's in May.
Yeah.
Just want,
Well,
um,
as far as
I do
the,
have some comments on that. It's been a lot of disparaging remarks made about the park committee from members on this board and about not getting records and that sort of thing. And I want to commend Barb. Yesterday, was it yesterday or the day before yesterday?
Monday.
Monday? Yes, it was yesterday.
Yeah.
I attended the required public records training. They had a session in downtown New York, and Barb also attended. So she's not only is she doing a good job on it, but she's conscientious enough to take her own time, take 3 hours out of her time to get the official training on public records. We also had a member I saw that attended that's on our zoning board. So I think that's real proactive that there's people that are on our volunteer boards that are learning what those things actually are. And in addition to that, I know volunteers have helped work on a project with me. I had trouble gathering some of the meeting minutes from the past because the president and the secretary has changed quite a bit. Vicky Fogarty was pretty helpful on that, and the archive website I did before, I got some. But I now have all they're available online, all the meeting minutes that I could get. Barb, I still need I think there was 1 or 2 that were handwritten. If you could get me a copy of that, or I don't want your originals, but a copy of it. And then all the meeting minutes from the beginning to now are online. So if you can't walk across the street and talk to her, you can get it online. That's set up on a free spot. It's just bgtpc@blogspot.com. You can go there, you can get all the meeting minutes from the history of it.
I just found
But
it today.
I would like to see that on the official website. I think that our board needs to take a little bit better approach on getting the park committee information out there. On the hurricane spinner, everything that I had, I posted on the wall there, every detail of it all the while. The only thing I didn't have is what Barb had. But like I said, there were a lot of disparaging remarks, as if there was some kind of wrongdoing or somebody not getting records.
Who signed
To
for it?
move here
I know it
forward,
would
I
take
think.
6 months to get a public record request, I mean, I guess that's,
Well, like I say, I think we need to move forward and make sure that everybody, not just everybody can come in here and look on the wall for the project, not just everyone. you know, the meeting minutes from the park have not been online. So where would they get that information?
I didn't have them to put them on.
Exactly.
My point is, we need to
I
get
had to
that.
ask for them from Barb to give them to the prosecutor that requested them.
Well, like I say, I think we need to move forward in a positive way and make sure that and our meeting minutes 8 or 9 months behind, and
They are on there now.
Good.
They have been updated.
good, and I think we need to keep working in that direction, because the public does need to.
I was
Get this
also there
information.
Monday too, you failed to mention that.
Well, what are you doing over there anyway, Jeff? You're not supposed to say a word.
I'm not on the park committee.
You run your mouth.
Mr. Haggis had an open forum too.
Well, I don't know, because you just seemed to jump in front of me and talk when I was speaking, so.
I'm on this board, if you hadn't noticed.
But it does say president right here, and who heads up the meeting, that would be me, okay? So don't talk over me.
That doesn't give you superpowers.
I run the meeting, when it's your turn to speak, I'll let you know. So we'll go over this
So what about
maintenance
peop-
list
What
here.
about people out here that just blurt out anything that aren't in the board?
You're blurting out in front of me, I was speaking, and you
I
just
am on the board.
right over top of me, Jeff, so what's the difference?
The difference is I'm on the board.
Alright, so we're gonna
and I'm
go
not.
over this maintenance that you guys want done over there, or requested to be done, which would be the kitchen sink, the entry doors, and
There's gaps in
the
them,
floor painted.
they need stripping put on them,
So just weather stripping, is that all that?
yeah.
That or new doors? What do you want? I mean,
Well, new doors would probably be all right, but
we'll do whatever the department wants to pay for. So I mean,
the call needs a license fixed.
the latches and the stripping. So no cold air will come in through the gaps. So you can't heat the building up because of the cold air coming in.
You can clean the building up after renting it.
I don't know. Has there been any problems anybody cleaning the building after they've rented it?
No.
Nothing. Well, obviously we can't paint the floor until it warms up a little bit. But the sink and the weather stripping and the new locks on the doors, I'll make a motion that stuff will go ahead and get fixed at the park committee's expense. The money will come out of the park committee fund.
Can I ask a question? Where are they getting their money?
They have a little bit of money in their account, and that's where it's gonna come from. It's not coming out of the general fund.
On the rental of the building?
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm
Is
saying.
there a second to the motion?
I'll second.
Okay, I'll call you.
President.
Bye.
Is
Roll
somebody
call.
out there voting?
Roll call, Jeff.
Please read the motion back.
Ben made a motion to get get the sink and the doors fixed and use the park committee fund money. Dan seconded it.
Where are funds like that been coming from? Like I said, I'd like to review the report you gave us tonight. Does it show where you're pulling funds out for different things for that building?
I would say the majority of it comes out of the general fund, Jeff.
So what is your vote?
Well, I'd like to review it. We definitely need to get the work done. So, you know, what funds it comes out of,
That's not a vote.
that is,
But you said park committee, and then what you said the park committee would pay for it, that's what I heard, I'm just wanna clarify.
Yes, the park committee
The
will
park
pay for it.
committee would pay for it.
but the park committee in the past has not paid for maintenance things. Isn't that correct?
Yeah, it has.
Oh, it has. It's paid for floor paint. This is the way it's been done? If so, then I'll vote yes.
And Jeff had it on top of all the list you gave me.
Is that on this report here somewhere?
No, it's on that 4-page paper that I gave to Barb and I gave one to you.
That-
Yes. This. I just gave it to you when Barb was standing right here. Lights. $83.
So you've also
Concrete.
been
from the
taking
park
utilities
committee.
out of that too?
No.
Absolutely.
But you couldn't afford the utilities out of this.
Well, can you just go down the list then and tell us what we are?
Where's your copy?
Let's finish this vote first, please. Thank you.
What is your vote?
You're saying that this is the same way it's been paid for? The way we're voting?
The majority of the items that for repairs on that building have been taken out of the park fund money.
Okay, and we're just doing the same thing? And we're just
Absolutely.
doing a vote, the vote's yes.
Dan,
Yeah.
Ben,
Yes. Alright, we'll go down to mulch for on the playground. Yeah, definitely. I mean, we're gonna need mulch up there. That's not gonna happen again until the weather warms up and it dries up a little bit. And then in April, we're gonna reinstall the merry-go-round, so we'll need more mulch there, so we'll probably just wait till then.
Do it all at the same time.
So let's table it till then. The $150 check for candy, is that what we usually spent every year on?
That's what we did last year. That's what they
They
did
may
last
not
year.
have that many.
What do you think?
People aren't very.
That's usually what we do, right?
Well,
It comes
that's
out
what
of
we
their
did
money,
last year.
so.
Yeah, yeah.
I'll make a motion that Jenny will write a check
I know for a fact.
to Barb Wiseman for $150 to purchase candy for the 2013.
Make it out to Jeff Baird, cause he does a good job picking out the prizes and stuff.
Strike that. Make it out to Jeff Baird to purchase candy for the Easter egg hunt 2013. I want to see receipts when all that stuff is done.
Please specify the account again like you did in the other.
And the money will come out of the park committee fund.
Second the motion.
Roll call, Jeff,
Yes.
Ben,
Yes.
Dan.
Yeah.
Do you know how much utilities are there every month for that building, Jenny? Do you have any idea? Close.
Not off the top of my head, I don't. Electric runs $30 to $60.
Okay.
And the gas in the winter, probably around $200 or $300 a month.
Okay. I want to read something here that was from the park committee meeting minutes dated June 17, 2008. Said, this was discussed at that meeting, the park committee meeting. And this is their mission statement. Says, our committee will seek avenues to further promote the availability of the community building and park to any all township residents. We will strive to adhere to Ohio Revised Code 511.03 and ensure that all residents are treated in a fair and equal manner as it relates to the usage of the township assets. Our ultimate goal will be to be fully visible and accountable to the residents, taxpayers, and eventually have these assets to become self-sufficient and self-sustaining. Have you guys moved forward on that at all? On that mission statement?
That was back in June 17, 2008.
Correct.
And I know that was pretty early on. And I know after that point forward, they knew that it wasn't going to be a reality based on the current rental fee and activity. That wasn't going to happen. So I know that they put their focus in a different direction.
If we do the maintenance to the building, they can get a higher price out of it. Get everything fixed up.
Why don't I don't think the price should be raised on it. So, I mean, what's your guys' thoughts? Do you think the electric money, electric bill payment, the gas payment should come out of the park committee fund or should come out of the general fund? They've made this up
This is
2008.
this is the whole report from, there's more than one sheet.
The other,
Well, this has the balance, right? This is what I'm
No.
looking for.
the other thing that you just put in your lap, that is the full,
Oh, it's under the report, okay.
that paper there, this one,
Yeah, what is that one?
that was, I took all the hall rental fees out,
Oh, okay.
and that would be your totals.
So,
The bottom is your
Without all the,
expenses, and the top is all your income minus the park rent, or hall rentals.
and that's as of now.
Yes,
Okay,
although I didn't add all the expenses in there, this is just 2012's expenses.
okay.
And as you can tell, you're negative.
So that's the money collected. That's what they spent.
And that's only 2012 expenses, I didn't add all of them in there. But I did add all of the donations from 2008 on.
So from 08 to 12, non-rental money was $4,280
Right,
from all the fundraisers and projects.
right.
But that doesn't count any projects prior to October 08.
I don't know that there were any.
Okay, so that's all of them.
Yeah.
All right.
Because when we got that grant for all the other playground equipment, we had enough inclined
In kind.
work that we
Yeah.
didn't have to pay anything, did we?
Yeah.
So what's it, this what they have in their account right
Yes, but that's with all the hall rental expenses that
now? Real hall
we
rental.
collected.
What else on this one?
Is all of this paid for, except for,
Except for the hurricane spinner.
Now that money you probably put into a separate grant account, didn't you? Because you did receive the money for that.
I did, but I put it in this total because it technically belongs to the
Okay.
park committee.
it's gonna be that money for
Okay.
24
But that was, it's in the right account then.
That's already taken out of there, Ben.
So we're taking out of here?
Uh-huh,
Okay, so that,
I think. It's expensive.
I see, yeah.
Unless we can
Right.
deposits,
Okay, so that's what they have in there right now.
yeah. But he had said at the last meeting, that even if we didn't count the hall rental money, they would have enough.
Well, we haven't seen a report since January.
No, but
Is
you
it
thought-
possible that you could run a report and give them to the, I'd like to see a report more often than once a year to try to have a handle on what's
Well, you
happening.
can also just take this report and add to it every time you get,
Well, if I know, you know, when we purchase, the way it's been done, when you need supplies, Barb's given me a list and I've gotten the cleaners and stuff at Lowe's. And I don't see that on here, so you're,
yeah, some
you know,
of those
where are those
expenses,
expenses?
Comes out of the general
going
fund.
on?
they come out of the general fund.
So like I said, this isn't really, doesn't show all the activity that we do have.
Would you like me to add more of the expenses in there?
Well, I'd like to see a report to see where we are taking it from.
The general fund,
Can you run that kind of report to show that?
no,
It would just be on the Lowe's receipt, it would
yeah.
do
it'd
that,
just be
and
on
if we
Lowe's
bought
receipt.
drain cleaner, she ain't gonna know if we use it in this building or that building.
Well, from what I understand, there's supposedly two separate accounts when you go to Lowe's. They have two there. Do you get two separate ones, two bills, or do they come itemized with which account?
There are two separate bills.
Which one,
It
should-
depends
should
on
it-
what,
does it matter which one is bought on when you get it, you
Yeah.
put it in the right account or what?
Yeah.
Okay. Because which one do you want us,
you
for
guys
paper
decide
towels,
that.
where do you want, which account
It's
you
up
want
to
it
you
from?
guys.
There's one of them says Bowling Green Township Park, I think, or something, and the other one
Community
just says
building,
Bowling
that's what
Green
it says.
Township.
I'd like to see everything that's spent on that building, park, anything come out of the park committee fund. There's no reason it should come out of the general fund, the general fund should be for the roads, truck maintenance, that kind of stuff, that's my opinion.
Because we'll have to study those numbers and see if we do have enough money from rentals and things to start covering the supplies and things. We need a report to see where we are financially.
You think you've done that before you start spending a bunch of money, but.
Well, you're talking about grant projects and you're talking about fundraiser projects that were specifically for that. The brick project, the cost of the brick they bought went for the brick and the flagpole. And the other one is grant funded. So, yeah, they had a balance. And that's why I asked for the report. I want to see where they are. And they don't know because they're not given reports.
No, but everything comes through them to me. They could keep track of it before they give it to me.
Well, I think Barb did a pretty good job on tracking the individual projects. She had to, like the bricks, because there's a lot of detail, who's ordering it, what's going on it, and all that stuff.
We'll do, two things here. I'm gonna hand this over to Barb, you can hand that to her. You tell me is that your signature on there?
What is, I saw Myers at the spinner receipt.
Accepted by, yeah,
That's your,
uh,
who wrote on there approved by the board?
I did,
And what board would that be?
the playground committee board.
Yeah, they voted on, that's in your meeting notes, isn't it?
Yeah.
So that would
So
actually be
I'd
the
like
park
to
committee,
get, you know,
correct?
in addition to them being online, is there any way, Jenny, if you could put this book,
Just did it again.
you could copy it so we can.
Can I
have it
finish my
in-
conversation, please, Jeff?
Well, we're getting back to the meeting minutes. I know that, I know that they.
I don't
voted
think
on
he
it.
was done talking about that.
No, I wasn't.
Okay, that's fine, but it is about that. It's in their meeting minutes, and I'd like to reference those, but they're not here, so.
So this was approved by the park committee, correct? Not the park board.
Well, same
That's the
thing.
same thing, what do you mean?
I mean, that's kind of deceiving there when it says it was approved by the board. You
We
know,
only have one,
which was net, we only have one board,
you're saying park committee and park board, they're the same thing, aren't they?
you know, which should have been brought to the board of trustees, is what I'm getting at, so. I just want everybody to know that I didn't sign off on this, so. My signature nowhere to be found on that. Does it have to do with the park?
Yes, it does. Curiosity, because I'd like to know, when the trustees go to purchase an item to put in the building or deal with the park, and Jenny gets the bill, anywhere on that bill does it indicate this is for the park building? Or does she just get a bill and she pays it all, so,
You can put a PO on there, which, you know, can specify what it goes for.
but if you choose not to, as a person that has the authority to go purchase, you could say, no, I bought paper towels, oh, we put them back here, but they all disappeared, correct?
Correct.
So there should be some kind of proof, when you go, the receipt is to be put there and where it was put at in the park, and somebody needs to see it, other than one trustee, okay? There needs to be more than one person verifying this.
All the receipts are turned over to Jenny, and I'm sure that Lowe's has a report that can be,
I don't think that's what she was
Around the
saying.
No, I'm saying, he goes and buys toilet paper, but he puts it over there, but he says it was bought for here. Where's the proof?
Right.
Okay, so it's coming out of the general fund, where we are paying for that toilet paper, but he put it over there where the park committee should be paying for it.
Yeah, and that's what I said, you know, none of that stuff should come out of the general fund.
Right, so where's the proof that this was purchased just for the park?
proofs in the receipts of what was purchased. If there's any question on what was for, that's not difficult to.
It's over his head.
That's
And I don't
We
think
bought,
it's
we bought drain cleaner the other day. Do you know what building we used it for?
Yes, I do.
You do?
Oh, you mean you bought some? Well, I also purchased some, and it was used in the community building.
Okay, well, somebody else purchased some, do you know where it got used at?
I didn't make that purchase.
See,
That'd
you
be up
don't
to-
know, so,
That'd be up to them to, when
How
I,
does anybody
when I
else know
leave
you
receipt-
purchased it for over
when
there?
I leave receipts for Jenny, if there's any kind of question like that, I put a note on there what it was for. I'll even, because Barb tells me what she needs, and I go get it, and I leave the receipt for Jenny, and
Purchases for
I
the
put for park committee on
well,
it.
we're gonna put this in a nutshell. I'm getting tired of getting thrown under the bus on this park committee deal, okay? And if we need to micromanage them, that's what I'm gonna do, okay? I wanna know every expense that is spent on that park committee. I don't care if it's a penny. It has to come in front of this board first, okay? So an itemized list of what they need needs to be brought to the board this month. Stuff will get purchased for next month, and so on and so on. I'm tired of not knowing. Nothing is gonna be done with the park committee unless this board knows about it. I don't care if it involves spending $10,000 or planting flowers over there. It has to come in front of this board first.
$5 for toilet paper, it's gotta go to the board first? So we the people will hear prior to
Yes,
it being
everything, I want
purchased?
everything to come from this board. I'm tired of not knowing about this park committee and what's going on and what they're doing. I mean, I'm just tired of it. So, let's say we're gonna micromanage them. I'm gonna make a motion that any money that is spent for the community building or the park, any money or items that need to be purchased, need to be brought in front of this board first. Any actions that are gonna be done in the community building or at the park anything, down to planting flowers, I don't care what it is, it needs to be brought in front of this board. I wanna know what's going on. I'm not getting thrown under the bus again. It's not happening.
Pretty long motion, do you have, what's the official motion, if you don't mind, or what's it gonna be?
Just good and saying,
Any money spent or action taken by the board must come to the trustees first.
It'd be by the park committee, not the
By
board.
the park committee needs to come to the trustee board first.
I'll second that motion.
So that needs to be the prior month. If they plan on planting flowers next month, I wanna know about this month. That's everything. Everything.
Well, I'm gonna need some paper towels and garbage
I need an
bags.
itemized list, is what I need. Along with that, I would also like a list, every meeting of the stuff that you've done the previous month. Everything that was purchased, any action that was done, any building rental, any income. I wanna know every single thing that is done in that community building and that park, everything.
Is this an addition on your motion, or what are you doing here?
Yeah, I'll make a motion on that needs to come in front of the board.
So you're amending your?
No, it's a second motion.
But we didn't finish the one you
Oh,
wrote.
go ahead.
You seconded it, roll call vote, Jeff?
Kind of, I hate to be redundant, but please read what the motion was.
Ben made a motion for any money spent for the community building or the park, or any action taken.
Regardless how big
By-
your house
See, it
is.
keeps adding to it. and
No,
that's
it's regardless, I'm just telling you, that's what it is, regardless how
By
big
any
your house
action
is.
needs to be brought before the trustee board.
and I said-
Seconded by Jeff. Your vote is,
Is this a roll call vote now?
Oh,
yes, it
Yeah,
is.
The answer is yes.
so disrespectful.
Dan,
yeah.
Indignant.
Ben.
Yes,
Okay, now the second motion, you want a list,
I want an itemized list of everything that is done the previous month. In the community building or at the park, whether it's building rental, items bought, anything that is done the previous month, I want an itemized list. I want everything, I wanna know everything.
Well, she
Don't we
gets,
already, Jenny's the one that
she
already
gets
has
the
it.
money.
She gave
would-
us permission
she
to
would
purchase it,
know.
now he wants to make sure it was purchased,
I
right?
wanna, yes, I wanna
Thank
know
you.
everything.
I understood that.
She's still running the meeting.
Didn't take college for that one.
is there a second to the motion?
I'll second it.
So if you guys need supplies, I need an itemized list.
Well, can you write it down?
No, I need an itemized list brought to this board.
I'll write it down for you, Black. You want trash bags and what?
Trash bags, that's 39-gallon ones, and
Black or white?
paper towels, black ones.
How many
Roll
paper
call
towels
vote.
do you need for that?
Huh?
Just do it.
Like a,
Just-
You got roll
how many rolls?
Ben,
Paper towels?
Yes.
It's one of those
Yeah.
bundles.
Jeff,
No.
You clean stuff.
Here you go, Ben, I'll give you a list. It's, trash bags and paper
Isn't
towels.
that supposed to be from the park committee?
It is,
So he just confirmed he's park
it
committee.
is, it's been.
Thank you
I
very much,
just
that's
asked
all I
Barb
needed
what
to
she
know.
needed, I wrote it
Can I
down.
get
That's
this
what I
David
needed
signature
to
on it?
know.
Who asked
It's
for it?
on record. Boom. Okay.
Once you got all the belly.
He wants you to date this and put your name on it.
It's on record.
Are they gonna have the money if they need to be self-sufficient, if they need to pay their own bills, would that work over there?
probably not,
What if they pay part of it?
but pay part of them, yeah.
What do you guys think?
I don't think they could afford the gas bill for the winter.
What if they
could
do the
probably-
electric?
Yeah, they could do that.
Not in January and February, we don't get that many rentals.
Alright. One other thing on the park, and then we're gonna move on. I don't have anything else on the park.
Wait, no, that's,
About the park? Go
that's
ahead,
the building.
go ahead.
You got two furnaces over there, right?
Correct,
One of them keeps the pipes from freezing.
right,
The other one keeps the building warm when they're using it.
right.
You can go there at any given time, or neither one of them two checks it, and that big furnace is sitting there running day after day for nothing.
No, it isn't, because I turn it down whenever
You're
somebody.
lying, Barbara.
No, I'm not.
Well, I'll-
No, I'm not.
I'll dispute that because I went over there this past summer and I walked in the door and the air conditioner was running. I walk over and turn the air conditioner off and the furnace is running.
Well, you can't run over every time somebody's there.
Why?
I have no idea when the last time somebody was in the building. So the air conditioner made the first run, the first made
We
the
go
air conditioner.
and check it every time somebody leaves it.
I mean, maybe it was just a, one-time thing,
Well,
that just went out the window.
but that furnace,
We made a motion last month to put this merry-go-round back in April, which is gonna happen. we need to set money aside to pay for that to go back in. I have no idea what it's gonna cost, I don't know, we're gonna have to extend the park, buy edging, buy the mat that goes down, buy the mulch, you know, concrete, labor, whatever. I'd like to set some funds aside, to do that. I want stuff earmarked, so that is there in April. How do you feel about that?
It should come out of this pocket.
Yeah, I
Excuse
don't
me.
know.
You already moved your motion last month on that, didn't you?
To reinstall it, correct? Now, I wanna know how it's gonna get paid for.
Should come out of Park Committee. Park Committee took it out, Park Committee should put it back.
Does it have to do with the park?
Yes,
Go ahead.
I feel that since he took it out without having any kind of, approval from, trustees, he should pay for it.
I'm not gonna dispute that, but we know that's not gonna happen.
Why? Jeff.
Park Committee should pay for it.
Maybe
The Park
the park-
Committee took
If
it
he
out,
says
Park Committee should
$1,500
put it back.
out of that.
Mark, maybe you could have a trash
Yeah,
bag and
Can
take
we
the house.
freeze $1,500 so we cannot spend it?
Yeah.
I wanna make a motion that we put $1,500, earmark $1,500, freeze it in that account. That the account can't be drained, is what I wanna do. To reinstall the merry-go-round. If it's less than that, the money will go back in the account.
Why would it cost why would it cost that much to put that back in?
Because we're gonna have to extend the park, therefore we're gonna have to move the fence, we're gonna have to probably get topsoil in there. We're gonna have to put we're gonna have to buy and put in new edging, we're gonna have to put down a cloth mat, we're gonna have to buy mulch, we're gonna have to put in a merry-go-round, have new concrete, have laborers to do it. Okay,
Well,
what do you
why-
think it's gonna
Why
cost?
don't you table that and then,
You know, we shouldn't have this expense in the
I
first
wouldn't
place.
table it.
if you table that until you get some real figures,
No, I'm not-
so we know exactly what, I mean,
I know.
Is there a
You
second
just-
to the motion?
I
That
second
money will
it.
be drained by
It'll
then.
never get done.
I don't know where you're coming up with the figure.
He said that's a max.
We're gonna take a roll call vote. Jeff,
No,
Ben,
Yes,
Dan.
Yeah,
thank you. That's all I have under park committee, so we will now move
I have one more thing.
on. Does it have to do with the park?
It's to buying supplies. We always bought the park supplies down there by Vernon Boiler, Jimmy, for that. You know,
Where?
the
By
park
Vernon?
supplies. Down there at that place on, it's James Sneed, down there on River Road. down
I don't know
there.
what you're talking
Always went down there, they're cheap.
For
You
what?
don't even know where it is.
For what? Supplies, as in what?
Paper towels and.
Floor stuff,
Right,
anything
right.
you need, bags, trash cans, whatever you need, they got.
So you're buying it in bulk? What do you
Yeah.
have?
Yeah.
Does that have to do with the
I had
park?
a question
They
about
go to Lowe's
the
and
merry-go-round.
finishes and they
Is there
buy-
something wrong with the merry-go-round?
no.
Nothing? It can go back in just the way it is? I heard at the last meeting that, I heard someone say, I'd have to watch it, but that they said repair it and then put
we're
it
gonna
back
check it
in.
out.
We'll probably refurbish it, would probably be a better word, refurbish.
Refurbish it. So,
Which might mean new paint. stuff
it
like
didn't
that.
need it didn't need
It should have
anything
never came
before it came
out,
out?
it should have never.
Was nothing wrong
came
with it?
out. No. Thank you. Do you guys have anything else? No? Move on. Alright, unfinished business,
That means their money diminishes, or if they choose not to go find cheaper supplies.
trash,
It's
what do you have under that?
I don't have anything. I thought that
I
you
guess-
still wanted it on
We
there.
spoke about that, it was handled. I know we made a motion to go ahead and let the prosecutor handle that CMI. I had some addresses that were given to me tonight from, where they were still picking up, so I'll turn that over to the prosecutor. So we can take that off the agenda.
Have you received any legal advice on any of these matters from last month?
It's like, define, what do you mean?
Last month, CMI, there were 2 or 3 things you were gonna, I'm asking you, did you get any legal advice? Cause I haven't received anything this
Well,
month.
sure, we'll start with the prosecutor. Prosecutor's supposed to move forward with that, and like I said, I just received some more addresses, so that'll be.
Okay,
turned over
but
to
you
the
don't have any updates from how they've moved forward or what they've done?
I do know. It's in her hands. So you can take that off the agenda, please. Park
I
committee.
know, I
Under unfinished business, anything?
That was just, you covered it all, I believe.
New business.
I gave everybody, these are the temporary appropriations, and I just need a motion to accept them. And this is just until we get our money, which we should be getting the end of February.
I make a motion to accept them.
Very little money right now.
Awesome.
Have you received any information on that grant yet for those funds, when those will be coming in?
No.
Because, from what I understand, that was a preliminary announcement, it wasn't finalized.
Yep.
Is that gonna affect moving money on accounts at all, the grant? for
Not
roads?
yet, because I haven't done anything with it, because we don't, this is just our carryover.
Okay.
We're operating off our carryover until we get money in February. And by then, we may know either way about the other.
Did you get a second already?
I got a second, but I need to do a roll call. Jeff?
Yes.
Dan?
Yeah.
Ben?
Yes. We need to put out for bid for Somerset Road in Dogwood.
Although,
I'm waiting a while.
yeah,
Did we officially get it?
yeah.
Do that.
I wouldn't worry about it.
Okay. Keep that on the agenda with us.
Johnny, when they came back and I convinced the board to modify the grant so we could get it, I didn't get a copy of that, so could you leave me down here a copy of the finalized one with the revisions we made on it?
I'll get that in.
Because I wanna make sure that we are up on the dates and when we have to do different things with it.
You probably stop in the engineer's office and get the.
Or the planning commission.
Well, you have it, right?
You have lots of things that you make us go get somewhere else also.
Do you have that? If you don't, then are you gonna be able to supply it, or do I need to go to the county?
I'll supply it, but I should make the county and get it, like you make us
I've
get
never
it from
had a copy
everybody
of
else.
that. When you were gonna leave one down here, remember we had to come down and sign it? When the changes were made, because you had a deadline?
No,
I need a copy of it, so I can, because I don't wanna miss the requirements that we have to fulfill.
Would you like me to record it?
I would, but I don't know,
What do you think?
I have no idea. I would like to look into a digital recorder.
If you would look into one, we'll decide something next meeting. Okay, please.
Yeah, looking and see what we're gonna run.
Okay,
Thank you. Any other new business?
I've got a question since you're talking about that. I understand in 2011, the board failed to have a required records and retentions annual meeting. I would like a copy of the 2012 meeting.
we didn't have one.
You didn't.
We didn't have one.
Any other new business? We'll move on to public comment.
Yo,
Bob.
I would like to go back on the, I should have said something earlier on the variance committee meeting that was held here. I'm a little bit concerned about whether it was legal or not, due to the fact that the two people, Patty Boland and the zoning inspector, sat over here at that chair and that door and tried to encourage the committee to go ahead and cut our legs off, you know? I don't think that's right. I think if she was not going to be in and have anything to do with the meeting, she shouldn't be here.
Well, I would say the zoning.
Allowed to be here. Patty's allowed to be here,
She was recused from it.
but she's allowed to sit in the building. She's a resident.
Now, we're still on my 3 minutes.
I had no voting Hey, power. that takes up the 3 minutes.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, go.
Sorry.
But she was not just sitting there, she was telling the zoning inspector what to tell these guys that was doing the meeting, what to do to us. She was going out her way to tell this one, here's what you need to do to him, here, I found this, I did this, I this, it. All of these things to try to so they wouldn't, to make a fair decision on what to do. She was trying to add to it. Things that weren't true, things nobody knowed, nobody knew what the law was, what the zoning, nobody knew anything. And these two were trying to make it worse on us. And I'm a fighter.
They would get to a point where they would say, well, we think we should do this and this and this, and then it looked like they were talking, and then she would voice something to them. Oh, no, you can't do that, you can't do that, no, this is the law, this is the law. And there was things that were said that is not the law. And I know, because I talked to the health department later and found out that there is no rule that you can't do some of these things. And yes, we failed to get some things done. But I also found out that when they sent the letter saying we had to do this a second inspection, they sent it to the wrong address, and I have a copy of that. And they also, and so does Mr. Zinsmeister now, and and then the water department, Joey and Chris said, there is no law that you can't have 2 dwellings on one well. You just have to have the second one tested now. Just get it tested, and it'll be okay. I would like to know why Mr. Collins is asking for records of that. Is that about us? He could have been here. He's asking for records of the meeting.
That would probably be.
Jeff read that.
Right.
He needs to read it again so I understand what it is that he wants. He got a letter from Mr. Collins.
It's just a record request. Anybody can put a record request in, and we can't even ask them legally what the record request is for.
Record
So
request.
it's
But
simply a records request.
he could have been here, and he would have known everything going on.
You don't have to be here.
And I got a call today from Beth at the Republican Party headquarters in Newark. I left a message on your phone and Jeff, so you weren't singled out or went over your head. I couldn't get a hold of either one. And I have her phone number. Her name is Beth. And one of our neighbors or friends with a 787 phone number called and complained about our campaign signs. I already checked with the ACLU. She said she has no problem with it. She loved Mitt Romney. Leave him there as long as we want. You guys, in your resolution, say you have to remove them, and I've got letter after letter after letter saying that's against the Supreme Court has heard that case many, many times. And it's illegal to have that in the resolution. Well, I'll go to the Supreme Court.
I know you probably don't want to hear this or hear from Barb.
It's free speech still in this country, and they're on my property.
I don't have any comment on it. This is
Okay.
gonna be Barb's area. Do you guys?
Okay, well, whoever made that phone call, I will know.
Would you like to hear from
I
Barb?
will know.
Would you like to hear some?
Okay, according to our Bowling Green.
Would you like to hear it? Do you guys want to hear?
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Bowling Green Township zoning resolution. I did not make this resolution. 9.10 signs. 1H, political signs, provided such signs shall be removed within 2 weeks following election day.
It's not the answer.
2 weeks.
Okay, now let me tell you, this township is in violation to have that in there. I'll get an attorney and I'll prove it to you. You guys are in violation. You are in violation.
And she can do that if she wishes, but remember, this was all approved.
I don't care who
Planning Commission,
approved it.
everyone.
You're against the law.
In response to Patty Boland and I sitting over here, I'm the complainant, and I provided every single piece of information I could find. Patty had nothing to do with it. Anything Patty had, she got from me. Anything and everything.
Why?
Because I am the zoning inspector, and that's
she
my
wasn't
job.
even, she was recused from
I am
it.
the complainant, and I present it all as the zoning inspector. It's also in your Bowling Green Township.
I want you to prove to me somewhere in writing that you guys are within the law to make me remove a sign from my yard.
I just did.
That is no proof.
It's in the
No,
zoning resolution.
I don't care if it's in that.
It's
It is
okay,
against
we'll
the
consider
law
that a
to
violation.
have it in there, is what I'm trying to tell you. It's against the law. This is still a free country so far. Obama has not got a third term. He is not a dictator yet.
So what would you like me to do? Would you like me to
I'm
ask?
telling you that
Would
that
you like
is
me to
my
ask the
property.
prosecutor if you have to remove this sign? Is that what you'd like me to
The
do?
prosecutor will be against the law if she tells me to
Would
move.
you like me to ask? 'Cause
You go ahead.
That's
You go ahead and ask her,
The
and
next
if she
step,
says
we
I have to
always
move them, I will go to the Supreme Court, because it's already been proven. I have letters on
I'm
that.
asking you. Would you like me to ask?
Yes,
I
you
will
go
ask.
ahead, yes.
I will ask.
Yes. I want to know why I can't have a sign in my yard.
Hello?
All right, quiet down. We still have public comment, please.
Yes, first thing, Obama don't have nothing to do with it. Second thing is, that was passed even when I was on the board. And back then, the prosecutor back then, even the one told us about it, everything else. So you gotta go back quite a few years on that.
That's your opinion, dude.
No, that's not my opinion, I'm
Black
just
and white.
stating that.
All right.
It's against the Constitution and the Supreme Court.
I will ask.
Hey, second thing, I'm not a dude.
I
Hey,
know.
I'm not a dude.
All right, calm down. Let's
No,
do
you
one at a
call me a
time.
dude, you're asshole. I'm not a dude. You don't disrespect me like that.
Oh, get out of my face,
No,
man.
I'm not.
Hey, come on,
Listen.
knock it off, both of
Listen,
us.
I'm trying to tell you that there is case after case after case went before the Supreme Court, and I have it documented that you guys cannot tell me that I have to take a plastic sign out of my yard. It is free speech.
I will ask the
Okay,
prosecutor.
unless it's deteriorated to the point that it has to be replaced because it is unsightly. That is exactly it. Jeff's got copies of it. You were gone already when I took the copies out.
I thought you gave him some.
I
did-
might have given
you
it
did
to
give
you.
me some.
Okay, I might have.
Yes,
But
I will ask the
it is.
prosecutor.
Just to clarify, I didn't hear that there was a zoning violation presented to anybody from the township to you on the sign.
yes, it is listed.
Yes.
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 When we got the list of things that had to be removed,
Yeah.
there was a drain, a culvert pipe,
Oh, the list you showed me after the meeting?
a culvert,
But
a
have you-
culvert pipe, the campaign signs, a car that has license plate appears to be non-running. There's nothing wrong with the car. It has license plates, more than I can say about a few up and down the area. Our tractors, which
Well,
are
let me just stop-
farm
let me stop there.
equipment,
Have you made a complaint about it? If you say.
the time will come.
If there's several, maybe
The
complain
time
about it.
will come.
We're done. I want to tell you one thing. Now, I'm working on getting my salvageable,
This is what you're referring to, right?
the recyclable materials off of my property.
Sure.
First, I'm gonna do the Christian thing. I'm gonna get the board out of my eye before I worry about getting the toothpick out of the rest of the township's eye. So I'm working on that project and the other in the past.
Now, you got the list right here, Jeff, of everything that, some of that is against the law. Should not have to move your tractor, you should not have to move your hay bind, should not have to move your hay baler, should not have to move my sign, I should not have to move that culvert pipe or a pile of dirt, which he hasn't called about that recently, but, and also at that meeting, I remember Barb saying, well, that's what's gonna happen when a neighbor asks you to move something and you don't do it. No one has asked us to do a thing.
Oh.
Nobody. Not one, not Howard. Nobody has asked us except Barb.
Nobody.
No, he has not. You said that we were aggravating the neighbors because they asked us to move stuff. It's on film. It's in the minutes. We have not been asked to
Well,
move
obviously,
anything.
and correct me if I'm wrong, obviously a complaint was made to Barb, she did her job and did a follow-up on the complaint, found these violations, am I wrong?
Yes, and it's not one complaint more.
And just proceeded forward,
Yes.
you know.
But she said we were aggravating him because he asked us to move things. He's never even
Never
asked
said
us to do
he.
anything.
I never emphasized he at one point in time. If it's on recording, you might want to listen to that again.
So what are you asking me to do?
Why is this person or persons asking us to move our tractors, which are agricultural a car that belongs to us, that has license plates and runs, a culvert pipe that he's gonna put across there when the weather gets better so he can drive out of the field. There's, whatever that list says, there's things on there that has nothing to do with a violation. Junk cars is junk cars. Scrap is scrap. Farm machinery is agricultural, and they should not be on there.
That is via prosecuting attorney.
Why?
She
That's
is
what I wanna know.
Are you
I am telling you, that is from the prosecuting attorney.
the list?
Any question? Yeah, her and I worked it out.
You and her worked it out.
Call her and talk to her.
Okay, every tractor that I see up and down anybody's field needs to be moved.
Our attorney.
Everybody's tractors need to be moved then, right, Barb? They all need to be moved, all
Now, is
their,
this public or is it zoning? I'd like to know. Because right now, I want to go public, because I've still got some questions. Okay?
Are you done?
Zoning
you haven't
earlier
answered
in
this
the meeting.
question yet.
Before you do, as a member of this board, can I make some comments without being interrupted here?
It's public comment.
I got all night.
So do I. Yeah.
Now, from what I understand, there was one letter violation sent to the Wesses, and it dealt with 3 different violations. 2 of those are being addressed through the appeals board, which were principal structure. The other one had to do with what this follow-up is 9.5 cannot have a junk yard or salvage parts yard. So my question is, why are there new things introduced here that have nothing to do with any of those 3 things? Like voting signs. That has nothing to do with the junk yard. And they have not received any violations from the township for it being violation of 9 point, whatever it is on signs, 9.19 or 99 or whatever it is. So why are you giving them a list of things that have nothing to do with 9.5?
The tractors are not.
And why are tractors on there? That, I can't imagine our legal counsel putting tractors on here that cannot, I mean, we're talking about an ag district.
But they haven't been moved for how many
Your
years?
legal
So what?
counsel. And question her, don't question me.
They
Call
have been moved.
her.
They have
There's
been
your
moved.
response.
So
They were moved just
Call
in the
your
last few
attorney.
months.
You know who she is, call her, talk to her.
They were all running in October.
I had asked at the last meeting if anything had transpired between now and then, because this has your name on it, it doesn't have legal counsel's approval or
Call
anything on it.
prosecuting attorney. There's my answer to you, Mr. Chorpenning.
When do you think we
This-
last used them to do hay?
You know,
In the summer or the winter?
I guess just like the junk car thing. Okay, if you show
But
intent,
that's the list there that we were
if
told
you
to
show
move.
intent.
You
wanna do
requested a list. Don't forget that. You
Okay, she's
requested
spinning. Now she's
an
spinning.
itemized
Okay.
list.
Now she's
You
spinning.
got
If you,
All right.
if you guys were showing intent,
No, I remember that. That was last.
Thank you
Stop,
very
just stop for a
much.
minute.
it. They requested.
I requested a list, but these things are not legal. They are not junk.
Get your attorney, have her contact
No,
prosecuting
I'm not gonna
attorney.
do that. You need to take the tractors off and you tell me
Nope, I'm
they
not
haven't been
taking
moved.
anything
You
off.
don't bale hay in the
I'm going to
winter.
have a cigarette now, because this is not zoning. This is public comment time.
Well, that's
There we go.
That's my public comment. They have not baled hay because it's
Contact
winter.
your attorney.
so what would you like me to do? Would you like-
I want you to find out from the attorney, why we would have to move tractors and hay balers and hay rakes and farm machinery and a car that is licensed and runs. Just because I don't drive it every day does not mean it doesn't run. It has tags on it. She put on the paper apparent non-running car. She doesn't even know, and she's prosecuting us on it. You know what I'm saying? For things she doesn't know anything about. The tractors, you know when we had the auction, they were all running. They've been moved since then. We have not baled hay with any of that farm machinery out there since hay quit growing. And we don't want to move them back and forth across the creek to do that field.
On all the property,
All 65 acres belongs to us.
not just back in my house.
Howard does not have the right to tell us we cannot put our tractors in this field or that field or that field. It is still free country and it is an agricultural product.
So,
And I
so
want you
are
to
the
find
tractors
out,
sitting on the agricultural land?
all of it is agricultural land. That is our hayfield where they're sitting.
I mowed the hay there and baled.
If those lots are split,
No, don't go there. Those little acres that were split, they are not on that piece of ground.
that's
No.
what I'm, that's what
No.
I'm asking.
You come from the driveway over so far, that's still our hayfield. You come back behind the other one, you come around the other one, we still be able to hay around them. That strip between the driveway and going over to the edge of that 1 yard is not even surveyed in that. We had to leave so many right there, and we actually own so much on Howard's side of our driveway.
So I will ask the prosecutor why tractors and farm machinery are on that list, correct?
Why he has a right to
And-
make us move our tractors,
It's a woman, but and
and a woman, either
and
one.
the election signs. So tractors, farm.
Well, I know who you're asking is a woman,
Yes.
but the one beside us is a man,
Okay, right.
okay? And while you're at it, you can ask her why he has the right to sit in the middle of his backyard and shoot towards my fence line.
It's a
Okay.
private matter, I can't.
Okay, you see what I mean now? I don't bother him. I don't bother him.
She
He
won't-
sits out there drinking his beer and shooting at our fence line.
She won't give out private legal advice on that, that would be.
My horse is back in there, but, you know,
I understand you guys' frustration, I do.
I have not bothered him. If the tractor gets moved, tomorrow, it'll be the dirt pile.
Like my
He's
mom.
already said, I don't like that dirt pile. He's trying to move those house trailers and move the people out because he doesn't like those.
Because he thinks he's better than those people. Those are good people.
Well, I will take this to her this week. I don't know when I'll get an answer back.
You got a
When I
copy
hear
of that
something-
piece of
That's
paper
fine,
right
that's
there?
okay.
Yes.
It's got the
Very good
list.
answer.
When I hear an answer back, I will get with you.
That was not the original complaint. The tractors are not under that,
Right.
whatever violation it is.
I got that package.
They are not.
Right.
Okay.
I'll ask her when I hear an answer.
And he has been moving stuff, he's got receipts,
Yeah,
he's paid
yeah.
kids to help him.
Yeah. I'm
But,
good.
and our sign, our sign out there, what is wrong with that sign that you put letters on?
Nothing.
What's wrong with it?
It all has to deal with zoning, and obviously the zoning inspector's not here, so.
Well, I'm sure she doesn't wanna hear this.
I will do a follow-up with the
And
prosecutor.
when you find out about those signs, about those campaign signs, then I will go, and if she says we can't, then evidently she doesn't know the law of the Supreme Court. I'll go to them, I will, I honestly will.
Well, I will talk to her. That's,
It's just a principle, you know what I mean?
I understand.
It is a free
That's
country.
what I can offer, if you want to accept it.
Agree,
that's fine.
agree, we fought for it to be free. So you keep it that way.
I'm genuine, definitely.
Nobody else would like this either, if the shoe was on the other foot, that they had to move their car because somebody thought it was running.
I don't agree with all the zoning, that's an honest answer.
And you know that part where she was talking about there wasn't any life here in this township? You wonder why? Do you wonder why?
Yeah.
There is no life here because there's nothing you're allowed to do. For 18 years, we have just tried to live and pay our bills, and you can't take your truck up the driveway. You can't take it up the driveway if it's got a car on it. You can only stay 15 minutes if you have a car on it, even though it's a brand new car.
What?
You know what I'm saying?
What happened in the past, I can't.
It's still going on. It's 18 years.
What happened in the past, I can't change.
It's still the same.
I'll work with you on this, I'll
Okay.
call.
And if it doesn't work, and if a person tells you, well, hey, I had to fly over your property to see, because I couldn't see it from the road, what does that tell you? Why does it bother them? They can't see it from the road? Okay,
It's a nose problem.
Yeah.
I'll try to get an answer.
okay. I would
That's the best I can
appreciate
offer.
somebody asking why the prosecuting attorney is telling us we have to move stuff that everybody else is okay.
Okay. I will call you, I'll try to get an answer. When I hear something, I'll let you know.
Okay.
I don't know, it might be a couple weeks.
I'm just about at the end of the rope. When this woman called me today from the campaign office and said, I love Mitt Romney, you leave all the signs out there you want. It's a free country. That's what she said. She would even give me some more.
Alright. You guys said it.
I'm done.
Thank you very much.
I'm just about at the end of my rope here.
Keep everybody.
I'm cool with it, I can have it.
Go ahead, Ron.
Aggravating.
Yeah, this is completely changed the subject, but I think, Mr. Chorpenning on his YouTube, trying to let in other words, what he said, and he got grant money for a couple roads coming up. And that's not really completely true, so I kind of like it on the recorder, saying that really, he got the second road out from Jenny. He signed the grants and stuff like that, got that through. So, I just want that kind of be on the record,
Sure,
instead of on his record.
sure. It was a committee thing, you know?
Yes.
But I know Jenny did the legwork, dropped everything
Yes.
off and got everything turned in on
But
time.
Wade talked like he did all the work.
That's not true.
Yeah, it is true.
You're probably referring to an audio tape that I put out there that was at the engineer's office where they announced who got those. That's all it is, nothing
We
more.
know how you work.
Yes, sir.
Yes, my name's Mike Wembry. I live in Licking Township area. I was here approximately 6 months ago and watched your meetings. And Mr. Chorpenning, why did you make chaos out of these meetings? You done it 6 months ago. I come down, thought maybe this has changed, but it's still the same way. Why don't you come to the Licking Township meeting to see how it operates without chaos?
It's not just one person.
That's
I
right.
lived in Heber for
That's
25
right.
years, I went to their meetings, it seemed like they all kind of work together on things. I've lived in Licking Township, I go to their meetings, the guys kind of all work together. And then I come down here and it's just, you cause chaos, you cause problems.
I know you're talking now, but let me say something about, I know we've tried, okay?
Yes.
I know we've tried, you
And
know?
I told you 6 months ago I couldn't believe it, but I thought maybe. I ain't coming
The
back.
biggest problem is
Well, I appreciate
nobody
you
knows the answer.
Who cares if he comes?
The biggest problem is
I am a
nobody knows the
resident.
answer to anything.
And I would like to know why on Jeff Chorpenning's Facebook is the seal of the township. That is a private Facebook, nobody can get
I wanna
into
do
it.
that again.
Been requested over and over, nobody's ever came back and said, you are accepted. I would like to know why that seal is on his private Facebook.
For starters, there's no seal on any private Facebook.
If it is a township Facebook, why haven't I been accepted? Like to know that question.
Well, I don't know of any time.
I don't know what you're referring to unless you're talking
And I
about.
can take a snapshot and bring it in for you next time if you'd like.
Well, unless you're talking about a volunteer effort that recently went on Facebook, but I don't think there's no township seals there.
Hasn't other people seen that seal?
I see that.
Thank you
Yeah.
very much. So I'm
Yes.
not just pulling this out of my butt, right? And did it say Jeff Chorpenning's name on it, Bowling Green Township? Thank you very much.
Yeah,
Go ahead, fix that one.
if you're referring to the archived website that I
Nope,
did,
not an archive
there, the
website.
seal is
No,
there.
Jeff, it's
Not
on
an archive
Facebook.
website.
It's on
a Facebook.
What was
It's
the
Bowling
ruling on
Green
using
Township.
that seal? This was brought up
And it
years
is,
ago.
it is the seal. and you
It's
know
not
it's
supposed to be used for personal use.
He does. And yet, he was asking to take it off, but he won't do it.
It's still on his website too.
I told you it's an archived website. We've gone through this before.
This is a Facebook, not the
We even
archive website. I will get a
we even had-
snapshot and I will bring it to the
We
next
even
meeting.
had a motion on this board to take that whole issue that you contrived about seals illegal and websites. It was all sent to the prosecutor back in 2006
This
to
is
09.
recent.
What was the ruling on that?
He's not supposed to be using the Bowling Green Township seal on his personal stuff.
That's why Bowling Green got their own, website, thank you.
We have another one in township.
Well, you're
Because
inventing things that
no,
aren't even.
once
Again, we
again,
will
you
prove
was
it.
adding, you was putting what you want on it, not what the people have said, what you want to say. That's why the Bowling Green Township got their own, website.
This is
That's
a
not right now.
Facebook, and nobody can get into it, it's private. You have to
Actually-
request.
No.
I'm talking to Ben right now. So Ben,
If you're gonna
what's...
cut me off and you don't wanna hear
No,
what I
I
have
want
to
to talk to
say.
you, I want to talk to Ben.
Okay.
I want to talk to the president. So
I guess
what do you feel about this? There's something wrong with this. If it's got Bowling Green Township written on it and the seal, shouldn't we, the people, be able to get onto it?
is.
And if you request it, you don't get it.
I think it should.
That's
I had
all.
no knowledge. This is the first time I've heard about this, you know, so.
It's
if
there.
it had to do with the
I will
township,
snapshot it
it
and
should have
send
been
it
brought
to
on
you.
board, right?
The only place where I know that seal is online is the archive website. that I
It
did
is
in
on
2006.
Facebook.
can't tell what's on the ground.
Facebook.
There isn't any trash.
I also have another public comment.
Go ahead.
I would like to know how a Bowling Green Township trustee can put over the internet that the zoning inspector is ignorant because of something he felt was wrong, which was not wrong. And also, that individual, which is Mr. Chorpenning, got documentation proving.
Did you think she left?
So I'd like to know how trustees can do this.
My vehicle.
Well, last I checked, there still is something in this
Talking
country called the First
Hi,
Amendment.
Ben.
I believe in the First Amendment like I
I
do
mean,
the
I
other
don't hear
amendments.
this, I'm talking to Ben.
I agree, it shouldn't be there, you know, is that how you treat your employees? I don't treat it, do
I-
I treat
yeah.
you like that?
No, never. Never. Thank you, I just wanted to make sure that was on record.
Any other public comment before we pay bills?
I just had a comment about the park, which I didn't bring up when we were discussing the park. But have you looked into getting the recycled rubber mulch for the playground? I know it's more expensive, but it's like a one-time thing and it
Right.
lasts forever.
Right, we've never got a price on it, I know it is costly, very costly. Possibly could apply for a grant for it, you know, maybe we could do that. I mean, there's a lot of projects that like to be done, you know, but it's always an option, but, I don't know, we can see how much, you know, what the price comparison would be. I know it's gonna be more, you know that.
Yeah.
But you're right, it is a one-time thing, you know, we don't have to worry about it at all. You know, that mulch is gonna compress and all that kind of stuff. We asked the guy, I can't remember what he said when he put that in. He told us how many years it would be till it would all have to be removed to be put in. You know, it's just gonna be done, you know, eventually, so. But it wasn't that long, I mean, I don't know how many years he said, but it wasn't that many. You know, and I was kind of surprised, so. But we can maybe look into that, definitely.
And my other comment is about rental in the building over there. Frankly, since it's been painted with the scenes that's in there, I don't know how you're gonna attract any wedding receptions. To me, it's very drab.
It needs some color.
Depressing. It needs color. It was much more attractive when it had the kind of Italian colors and windows and everything in there.
Right.
I mean, I don't know who had it painted,
How long
but
ago was that painted? I don't even remember. Probably.
2 years ago.
Yeah.
2 or 3 years.
Yeah, a couple years. Most. Yeah, I definitely understand.
Building.
Yeah, I mean, we could look into having it painted if we wanna do something else. You know, if they wanna do something else, they could bring it to the.
There has been a couple wedding receptions over there, but
yeah, it's just not inviting
Right.
to, I mean, I wouldn't wanna have a family reunion there frankly, because it's so drab and dreary.
Well, I mean, what kind of suggestions would you have to do?
Oh, I mean, I just was bringing that up as, you know, I mean, even if it was just painted white,
Right.
would be better than
I know, we
what's
went through
in
and
there.
painted it, a couple years ago, we painted the whole thing white, and then Marge Bromley came in, and she painted all that on there. And honestly, we didn't really give her any stipulations, we just said, kind of do what you want, you know, and she did. Which is not bad, I mean, it's not bad painting, you know, I understand what you're saying, there's no color.
Yeah,
I think she just wanted to change it, cause she painted all that other stuff.
yeah, I knew she did, she does a really nice job.
I like the way it is.
I guess I didn't realize she painted
Right.
what's over there right now, because it just is so unlike anything she
Right,
does.
right. Well, I think she did it all freehand too.
Yeah, I know she does.
Pretty impressive.
Yeah,
But
but it's just the colors, you
Sure.
know, there's no color at all, it's just brown and.
You know, maybe we give it a couple years and we'll spruce it up and do something new. Yeah, definitely. Definitely. Any other comment? No? Alright, I'll make a motion that we pay bills.
I second
Can I ask you something? You get paid anything as per Do you want that? So,
Okay, thank you.
I just want to get out of it.
Yeah, I gotta leave off, so I'm working out of state, so I'm gonna get employed here pretty soon.
Fine.
I don't want to be on.
Yeah.
I'm not sure yet. I know it's coming up soon, but.
She's gonna take more election time. One election sign is down. The only way that you can be heard is to talk loud.
All right, good, no problem. That's what I'm supposed to do. Supposed to do a good job. Yes, if I don't, you know.
I picked up all my hand signs, made sure that they were.
I have one right on there.
And they were.
I went to the car way down over the hill.
Houses, they can't bring them on the house meeting. Are they walking in the road?
Railroad tie.
In my Hayfield.
The woman tried.
I have to.
And I tore up the car.
Yeah.
And I thought,
$3.94.
the hill, filed part of the railroad tie, broke the front thing.
He's in the house trailer. He was here.
Which is, I mean, we got that.
You guys hear that?
So I wonder why we have that.
I'm gonna ask him if he's got.
Just check it out.
Like.
Well, probably, you couldn't make it in. That didn't make no
Various
sense.
committee what to do.
It'd get work for you though.
Well, yeah, I was on a big car.
4135.
And then it was going to have to work. And then they said, "Good, take it, take it."
They said, "Don't bring it in, like grab it." That made no sense. But yeah,
Later, yeah, you too.
But she's still sat there.
Yeah.
Give it, get out.
Did it together.
Yeah, sometimes
And they told the guys were just ready to say, they'd say, well, that looks like we should just do this and this and this and this, and just do this done.
First one.
No, you can do that. She wanted to kill us.
Yes, yeah, I walked up through there and I see what the setup was.
Where's the red truck?
Nothing I
Is that all
jumped
done
on
now?
tomorrow.
That ace truck?
No, sometimes.
Why ask me?
You turn right, past Danny's, then you go right.
This was on the chain of, Stunner.
This one's $138.
Oh, I'm just like, come on now.
Doesn't place look all right?
They have their.
Seen junk cars?
4139, $4.
When he persecuted us the first time.
I think they got it down there. Double.
4136.
You may have a
I just got the
$10. 99 cents. Here's the one he was talking about.
The thing is the complaint said apparently,
Now this one, which account does this come out of?
and
Wait,
that's the
now,
only thing that.
Lumbertown, for what Ben bought the,
I didn't say it.
That's private
That's all it's purchased.
okay, well, how do you know which account?
It's Howard.
Is that Mark?
Howard Collins, which I heard him say,
Account code?
was asking for the zoning
2031
variance.
330
That
He
came
knew
out
when the
of
meeting
Rich.
was, he could have been there, now he wants the records. And then the woman.
4141.
The campaign.
$72.08 for cost supply. Supply. You know what that was?
I can look it up for you.
How much was it, Jeff?
$72.08. Cost supply.
I know they bought some race.
Chain link or
Change.
And they're running out to the ditch.
Yeah, and some chain links.
I knew that.
yeah, rake and roller.
It looks like it's way back on your side of the property, in the back, and then waving something.
Two truck
out
four,
there.
3,298.72.
One pipe
Truck
is open,
repair.
and one pipe has it's like sieve on it.
Last time I was back in there, the old car sitting back there, but
On that Ford.
where niggas live.
She owns that now, doesn't she?
What's the?
Yeah,
Twenty-nine.
she inherited that house on the corner. Well, that car was sitting there with no tags on.
So how many different truck repairs do we
What
have this
about all
month?
the tires that have been passed there lately?
She wants to
Stacks and
rent
stacks
that.
and stacks of cars.
We haven't been.
They've been there
That's
for
all
a
right.
couple of years.
Huh.
She, the meetings, I said, so
Well,
many
we didn't
times,
have
she
to do
said,
it for,
oh, those are agricultural, I plant potatoes.
next time the rear end goes out,
But they've been sitting there all winter just
Jim's
holding the
Chevrolet
down.
got put in.
And now there's This is
Receipts here.
What are you looking at?
No different than anywhere else.
why can't people
Can I have a
just leave
specific?
people
This
alone?
particular one's been put forward for $3,000.
That was from the after
They
school
don't even need
and stuff on.
She told that me,
And that
she told that
airplane,
zoning
you can't
people
tell me
that you
what's
cannot
on the
have
ground.
one house on one, well,
Oh,
This
and
is
that was
last
the
year.
law.
Yeah, they
She told them that, and they didn't know. Well, I got
They
it
both
straightened
had
out since
insurance
then,
on
I
them.
got the truth,
tags,
and I
yeah.
emailed it to him from the water company, from
Oh,
the
that's for medical. That's
health
the
department.
insurance
And he
and
said, there's no such rule. No such rule.
He makes their own rules.
Now, all of a sudden,
4147,
The land is all
$58.25.
rezoned,
Then Huck,
the flood plain
Says
is in a
reimbursement
different
part.
place now than it
That
was.
was-
Yeah,
And it's
I do.
far up in our property, and it has not
It
flooded
was
there
from
since we
Cogland.
lived there. Now, why did they do that?
That's like it's a bit much anymore. There's two.
what do you have to pay cash for?
Yeah, we don't have
Two places on one well?
Yeah,
yet.
There, Gray Shot is too.
one of them.
Gray Shot is too. It's not a law. I've already got that straightened out. Oh, is that thing on? Yes? It's the one, I'm putting my hand right in the camera.
4149, $287.83, Pleasant Valley Limestone.
Yeah, it always is.
Yeah. All right, I'm going home. I'm done meeting.
See you, Patrick. See you, Bob. Thanks.
4151, $5.66, Napa Auto
Come up
Parts.
here.
Mr. Van Buren. I don't want it to get lost in the shuffle with the sign too.
4150, 3195, Becker Chainsaw Supply. $41.52, $3.45, Jenny Duval, postage reimbursement.
You wanna see those receipts too?
No.
Stamps went up. You know that?
Did they?
They
Did
did.
we?
I got those
46 now.
ones.
Not the one
$41.53,
with the
$60,
Islamic
Jim
stuff written on
Whiting.
it, did you?
No, I got them all down here, they got flags on them.
Okay, don't get the other one, stay with the flag.
$41.48, $64.58 for Lowe's.
I guess.
This says 330-420, which account is that one? Is that the same one?
I
That's
need the first four numbers.
2031.
That's, yeah, British.
Is there a reason,
Operating supplies.
is there a reason why you use that particular one?
We have more money in that account right now than we do the general fund.
Let's see. 4130,
Our general fund
889.13.
is pathetic right now.
Jenny Duval. $4131, $832.61, Jack Richard Hedges. They have time sheets.
I already signed it. Yeah, already approved.
He's gotta see him or he won't sign
I
him.
know, right?
You don't want my signature, don't show it to me.
You ain't got signed it. We'll have to on it. Go ahead.
Pardon?
We'll have to on there. Go ahead. You ain't got sign it.
What? I don't
Open
see-
your ears. I said we'll have two signatures on there. You don't need to sign it.
Fine.
Ask Jack if he wants to deliver that.
How else do you think most of the work's gonna get done around here, Joe? Without these guys.
Jenny's, it's just the third page of the minutes, or the rest of them coming around, or? Is that what that is?
Yeah. That's the only page that needs signed. I gave you a draft copy.
4132, 62219 for Benjamin Huff.
You don't need to sign that one either, 'cause you'll have two signatures on there too.
Actually, I do. It's just based on. what
I don't
the
need your
request
signature. I don't
said.
need your signature, Jeff. Trust me.
4129, Jeffrey B. Chorpenning, that's two signatures on it, needs yours. 4154, $50 for Jack Hedges, reimbursement for shirts. I assume you have that receipt?
Yep.
Do you have your time sheet that I can see, Jeff?
I I don't need to see it as long as you have it on file there.
Yep.
4146, $99 for WND Motors for repair. Which one was that one?
Was that on?
WND Motors, Maple Avenue,
For how much?
$99.
Oh, that's when they did the diagnostic. Hey, that's when they did the diagnostic on that rear end. Chairman, that's when they did that diagnostic on that rear end thing.
Oh, okay. Well, they charged us to check it out.
$99.
Wow.
Good thing you fixed it, Dan, 'cause you saved us a bunch of money.
We got an awful lot of books here for fixing ourselves.
What's better to pay? About $500 or $3,500?
Well, Jeff, I mean,
The only thing, actually, what was the bill on that red truck? This?
4145.
the will I got over at Napa was
Exactly.
$77 and something.
I think you're getting trucks mixed up here.
Steve got the black run transmission.
Yeah.
He went and gave me a pen, and I got 2 used bushings. I mean,
4145, Econo signs, says speed limit signs, did we replace them?
Not yet. Yes, they were taken down and we need to put them back up.
Where's the location?
That would be in Dogwood Lakes.
Did you purchase the reflective type?
Yes, we did.
These are the ones entering in?
Come again? Yeah, no.
Where are they located?
To the right, and where we replace that culvert. If you went out there and replace that culvert, we took the sign out. Yeah.
Jeff, here's your
You removed it
inventory
all together,
letter.
the old one?
What's that?
It's been missing, the other one?
Nah, yeah. Come down the hill, they have them like a lot, yes.
Ohio Public Enemy Consortium, 4144, $258.30.
Where's my check?
I don't know. It's
Yeah,
come
David.
through
Yeah.
yet.
I need my check.
It's still working.
Napa Auto Parts, 4142, $77.35.
that's oil for that there truck out there. Oil and paper towels and, silica.
Yeah.
Now that one says 2031, you took that out of the same, that's the road one, right?
That's her job.
Yes.
This one's also 2031. Parsco,
You sure you're taking these?
$501, 4140.
You're gonna be on with this.
Cinders.
I am gonna be on it automatically, no matter what.
That's right.
It's
Just
actually
get some
time
more
for that
ammo
again.
for certain people to use against you.
Yeah,
When do you receive that audit?
soon.
When you do this time, can you leave a copy to review down here?
There's a copy on the state of Ohio's website. You can see all of them from,
Is it already
Any day you
released
want
for
to.
the current one?
no, we haven't had it yet.
Do they put it out there the same time you get it?
Yep.
4133, $620.81. Daniel Nelson Van Buren.
Oh, boy.
127, I need a timesheet, $551.27, Barb Select.
Salig. Say it 10 times, you might remember it. Salig. I can say Chorpenning. Damn. Get that on recording? Thank you. Saliga. 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 Go ahead, say it 10 times, you'll get it. Thank you.
What did you give it back to me?
What? The
Fire
fire sheet?
sheet?
I already signed that one, yeah.
I don't know where it went. Baby Ben still it was right there. There you go.
Could you leave me a copy of this as well? Because I
Sure.
assume that this is the original that you want.
It is.
Okay.
We get through so much paper.
You want 2 signatures or all 3?
We gonna wait for him to read 3 months or what?
What do you think? You tell me.
If he's gonna read 3 months, I really don't care about his
Well, I'm not-
signature. He doesn't respect me anyhow.
You wanna sign it?
Do you want me to move on? 4126.
Do you wanna sign this or not, Jeff? Would you like to sign Mrs. Salig's check? Yes or no?
I've just got a copy of her original here. For
I didn't ask you to
sheets.
copy
If you
it.
want me to sign it, I need to review the entire thing. If you don't want me
Is
to
that on
sign it,
recording?
move on.
You got that on tape somewhere? That he needs to review the entire thing so I can get paid, which is 3 months worth right there?
There you go.
Make sure of that. Okay, thank you very much.
Yes, ma'am.
I think
It's my
there's another
signature.
check, isn't there? I'll wait for that too. Might have to review that. That would be my miles and my phone and all that. That's what I thought. Yep, I'll wait. You should be.
Like I said, I guess that check's, give me a copy if you don't mind. 4126,
Am I keeping,
Barb
am
Soleil.
I keeping your check?
See, there it again. Saliga. Saliga.
4134.
Saliga. Chorpenning.
Some people just don't get it.
Jesus. 10 times if you say it, you might get it.
I'd like a copy
Little
of the
man.
time sheets for the employees' checks too.
I got an idea for you, Jeff. Why don't you come down and work with us, and then you'll know when they work. How about that?
You might know how to pronounce their names too.
Are we adjourning?
Yes, I'm. Oh.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
I'll second it. At 9:23.
Come on, get stuff in the car. Let's go.
Okay.
A lot of things to do. Place to go. People say.
What do you got?
Buns.
Huh?
Buns. Hey.
I thought you had something exciting in your whole
No,
family.
I give everybody bones. You want bones?
I don't want bones because I don't want to clean up after my dogs.
Oh, these are easy to clean up.
Hey, did you pick up some of my stuff, Jeff? I don't think that. What's that middle envelope you gave me? Who was that from?
Planning
This.
commission.
Did I leave stuff there?
No, you picked up some of my stuff. It should have been a middle envelope.
With this thing here?
Yeah, right on the bottom there.
That one just like, let me make sure it's not really, or whatever.
Yeah, you gotta look at it all. Here's yours. It's got your name on, Jeff. I don't want that.
Yeah, this is a duplicate of what I have, that's yours.
What else on the bottom? Anything else? You have stuff on the bottom of your folder there.
No, I don't think so.
Under
On
your
the bottom of the
under
bag.
your black thing.
Wait a minute. Yeah, that's the same thing.
Yeah, it's got my name on it right there. There we go. Remember you set all your stuff on top of the notebook?
Let me make sure I have these things. I know I have that, that's in here, that's yours. I don't have this.
What is that?
It looks like an email from Amy Thompson.
Yeah, she sent that to you also.
So this is mine.
No, so it's
No,
mine.
it's Ben's.
To Ben Hutt at Yahoo. It's got my email and yours.
Right.
Yeah, I printed that out for him
Today.
because he requested one. Did you?
So we got legal counsel today.
Yeah.
I haven't had time to review it.
I haven't either, let me read it.
You can read it at home.
Listen, Jeff, I'd like to
She
go home
sent you a
tonight,
copy
okay?
also.
Well, we adjourned the meeting, didn't we?
Can I have my personal property and I will leave,
Did
okay?
we adjourn the meeting?
Yes, and that is his.
It says to,
I printed that out for him, not you.
Do you get this or not, Jeff?
I understand we did get legal advice apparently. I'd like to read it if you don't mind.
You
My
can
name is
read
on
it
there.
at home. It's not like we're gonna discuss it right now. The meeting's over.
I asked you if you got any legal advice. Apparently you
You
did.
know what, Jeff? Take that paper, get this on camera, shove it up your ass, and go home. I'm tired of your games, Jeff, okay? Do you not understand
This is a
this?
legal letter. How are you making it out as a game?
It was mine. You took it. Is that thievery? Did you steal it? Thank you.
No, it's a letter to the board from our legal counsel.
Who was that letter handed to,
I
Jenny?
handed it to you.
Thank you for making me a copy that I cannot take home with me.
And if he wasn't sitting on top of you,
Have a good evening, Jeff.
you would have your own copy.
I'll get the lights. sitting here reading a letter, Mr. Huck. Well, since I'm in the dark, I'm going to turn the lights back on. Apparently we did get some legal information